Good morning and welcome to today's live show. Wow, it should be an interesting one because stocks are absolutely crashing. Yeah, usually if I'm putting a big stock market crash with a bunch of spamming stuff, then usually I'm being a little bit, a little bit But this right now is overall still expected for the day. We'll see what ends up happening from here. We'll pay attention. But for now, it seems like the ones really getting a crappy look is Nvidia and all of these things. But let's zoom out to our 2 hour, right? Let's just look at this, right? Nvidia. Let's really pay attention to this real quick. Well, from the 30-minute, what do we overall see? Well, we see something interesting here. We have technically a low, a higher low, nice high, higher high, another higher low. Ooh, then we put this in, but are we about to see things start to shift, right? Well, that's where we need to take into consideration, yes, the 30-minute can see some kind of downtrend, but also, if we look at this 2 hour chart, we see how much this has really seen some of that good positivity. Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, this could fall back down if the 2 hour cross. That thing is positive. So something I really want to look out for something like Nvidia is, do we really signal that this is a bottom by making a higher low? And I think that would be fantastic. And I can pay attention to my weekly expected moves, make sure that if you need some weekly expected moves and you're like, oh my gosh, Nvidia is crashing, where is this going to stop? Is it way down here? Or is it potentially right in here? Well, those weekly expected moves can help you out down there in the link in the description for Patreon, just to be aware of that. So I did put out a Patreon video this morning. Just wanted to shout that out to a few of my Patreon members. That way they can understand what the environment is here and if this is really, really worrisome for right now. It can turn worrisome. This can be a bad thing. As of right now, it's priced in for the options market. So we'll see what happens throughout the day if we're going to see something crazy. No, I do not want to insert ads, YouTube. Stop telling me to insert. I don't get it. Something's up with YouTube where they keep... Maybe that's why they're mad at me and my stream doesn't work once a month, because I don't play enough ads, I guess. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very sorry. I do not want to play ads all over my stuff. The current environment is pay out my hedges, not my positions. Hey, that's what the hedges are for, right? That's what the hedges are for. Hedges will look nice. Some other things that we just wanted to point out was the fact that you do have the separation from the 10-year yield and I believe oil. Interesting. And all of these things are doing things differently, right? The dollar is down, oil is down, but technically the 10-year yield is up. And the dollar is overall moving in this sideways action that's saying, hey, another 4 hour turn up, right? 4 hours turn up, that curls back down. Hey, we'll look for that reversal signal. Volatility as of right now has not curled up on a 4 hour. There's probably a good chance of that, right? The 2 hours curled up, that's fine. We'll notice here that all of these, people would say 30-minute divergence, 30-minute divergence, 30-minute divergence, right? It is here, it's there, and we can pay attention to the fact that it's reacting to a great level. If you look at these wicks, it can be considered a good level, but a little bit higher up would be better. So we'll see if this is able to do some interesting things, see if we actually can go to the upside for this. For the time being, the 2 hour is crossed up in what negative territory? That means that this look right now is most likely not a stock market crash. It is a possibility to get a stock market crash, but we're already down 20% or so, so I don't know about that. But it more so would lead towards, hey, the probability say this is probably going to see some kind of reaction here and then most likely fail. But we'll see how it develops over time. A lot of things can change. If this starts to go positive and that volatility remains and we use that 5, ooh, that could be not so good. Another one I want to talk about again was Meta, right? Hopefully you watched the video yesterday. I know it was kind of bouncing around a little bit in that video, but Meta, very, very nice. And there are some very key things down in these areas. Very key things, okay, Patreon members? I think we talked about Meta in that video this morning before the open. I wanted to make sure to talk about things before the open and really talk about, is this going to become complex again on the 30-minute where we need to see that divergence? Or is this just going to be a 2 hour spikes down and then we see that buy come in and the 2 hours just able to curl up really close to the center line? I think this will be an interesting time to see if those type of things are going to take place. But I am looking for reversal signals. I think that is the way higher probable thing. And as of right now, this would just be considered a 2 hour pullback. And we are still even just within the daily expected moves. We crashing now? No, Mark, we're not. I just, everyone was calling the next crash. So I thought I'd join the party, and just put it in the title and not believe that at all. Thing is, even if we did this, I would still be like, yeah, it's crashing, but is it going to continue to be an actual like crash for the ages, right? Is this the actual bubble pop that's absolutely terrible? Or is it just a 2-hour divergence below our 95% line towards the end of the month and you only have 1 or 2 weeks to get back in it? I'm going to be taking, if we come down to here, I'll be looking up here into May, and we'll probably hit an upside move in May. I'm here for it either way. Exactly, Mark. Once you start to do things like with risk management involved, position sizing good, understanding the decision-making areas, you're just like, hey, I understand. Everything's my choice, and I'm in control of what I can control. I can't really control the price, but I can control when I buy and sell. That's pretty dope, right? I can control how much time I give myself to be right or wrong, right? But like price wanted to come down. Okay, cool. Then it's probably going to be a pullback. How am I going to adjust? Okay, then it curls back up. All right, then it's probably going into positive territory. We could see some kind of big move. How am I going to adjust? Good morning, though, everyone, says Chris. He's like, Chris coming in here to make that dinero. You know what I'm saying? Apple filled the gap. What's next is the question. I think Apple is still a good look. I really don't think that this is that bad. We're coming down into that 199.37. We're going a little bit below that. Let's go fill that gap and do all those kinds of things. 2-hour crosses here, it can get worse, right? 2-hour crosses here, you're still looking for overall like the 2-hour higher low. Okay? So we haven't necessarily seen that. Now, we haven't seen the big thing that continues for a long time to get this overbought. But at the same time, if we wanted to, we can do this. We can retrace the move. Maybe we go outside of this 95% line for a moment, and then it just curls up like that. And that's what I would wait for. For Apple specifically, I don't know if risk to rewarding it is the best thing in the world. I think I would need to see that 2-hour curl back up. Or if I'm going to risk to reward it, I would seriously pay attention to position size. The reason for that is just China is continuing to retaliate. So if China affects Apple in any way, which it does, the China tariffs, I'm just not someone who's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to risk to reward that with no information about China. No, we need to see someone with more money than us able to, a lot of people able to buy into this to say, yeah, okay, this is heading to the upside. But it would, according to your MACD, Apple would just be a pullback, right? It would be a more aggressive pullback. It's in that center, so there are probabilities to take this out because you're a little bit closer, but it's still leaning towards maybe an aggressive pullback. Very nice. Look at your weekly expected moves, and then you'll know, hey, if that weekly expected move was right here, is this really possible this week? Or would that be absolutely insane? Okay, well, for that to happen, you have to get worse news than over here because people are used to this bad news. You have to get worse news. What's going to be worse than that? I just think a higher low is probably more probable for a lot of things across the board, but we shall see. Good day, Ta. How's it going, Ta? Let's see. Sip of coffee here. What's up? Videos now, maybe Apple will get up. I don't know necessarily. I mean, we're just seeing a pullback as of right now. Still. Now this is the 30 minutes starting to go negative, which can mean we can start a 2-hour pullback. Same thing kind of for Nvidia, right? Nvidia, the 30-minute was still positive. If that thing could have broke through, that could have been a big moment. But we kind of knew from yesterday's video, that's why we're posting like, this is where the bears are. Down in these areas is where the bulls are. Okay, so if we're going to go down into here, that's where bulls can try to make an attempt. Right, but for Nvidia, this is pretty aggressive, but look how positive it is. Right, it's very positive. So for this to absolutely just go through the floor, that has to be dramatically bad news. Way worse than anything else we've experienced, right? We need to see a drop bigger than this. Like, okay, well, then we need to drop like that. Okay, it's got to be really, really bad news. So the price action is saying it's bad. The price action is getting a big gap. Okay, so Nvidia is one that I might even say, hey, if I was in Nvidia, I would be making potential decisions, right? Most likely I would have been trimming off in these areas just in case, but we're hedging in some way. But overall, if we look at weekly expected moves, we look at what people had priced in for the week. I mean, let's just take it into consideration here. Look at these weekly expected moves. Like, look how big they are, right? So from the actual area here, you have a 5% up or a 5% down move, over 5% in either direction. That is huge, right? That is massive. So when you take that into consideration with something like Nvidia, this still could just be a 2-hour pullback. We just have extreme volatility where people are very reactive to anything that looks like it could potentially be the next stock market crash. When you've already experienced a 20% drop. I mean, you go look at these things on the daily scale and everyone's talking about stocks need to crash further. And it's like, well, Tesla has divergence and Tesla's down, what, 60% now from the high? It went down 56 right now, sitting at the price at the pre-market there, 49% down. Like how cheap do you want things, you know? Amazon is Amazon with the divergence up here. Okay, awesome. We saw that. Okay, it was down 34%. Is that not enough? Yeah, maybe looking at more investment side. Meta, when everyone wanted to buy it at 700, nobody wants it at 500. It's interesting. We'll see how it develops throughout the day. All right, Chris, was that good? Okay, I'm just making a. I just wanted to put something out there pretty quick, Chris. So I'm glad that it was in some way just like, hey, let's just really understand. We were prepared for this the whole time. This is something I want. I literally said yesterday, I really want a 2-hour pullback. I said that multiple times, but and I think it's fine once you get in the situation where you feel very much so you're like, I know I'm in control. If I make a mistake, it's my fault. I can clean it up. I have a plan for if it goes wrong. Okay, it's like if we pull back, we pull back. That's awesome. If we would have went up from here, would have been awesome. Let's go look at the memers real quick. GME, once again, I would expect more negativity here for GME. That's kind of crazy. Running your head into a certain thing on Patreon if you want to join us over there. But the 2-hour is extremely positive. So I think that, yeah, this could retrace down. We could go to 25. We could go to the actual full breakout, which would be like 2350. But really, the breakout was more so here and here. So I think this type of move would make a lot of sense. But that would just be a positive move. AMC, as of right now, sitting right where it sat at the end of yesterday. Right at the end of yesterday, it closed like this, came down to here in the post market, and it's still just sitting at 292. JP Morgan also suggesting, hey, I can get a more aggressive pullback. Weekly expected moves will come in handy, but I like that 221.62. I'm really going to be watching that level. See what happens around there. And if it wants to become more complex, we should understand how it's going to become more complex. If this is really going to be awful, then this can fall through the floor. And then we could see that dead bounce and then go like this and see something just like this right over here. But if this is able to curl up the 2-hour, it's a little less likely for that to happen. So we'll be paying attention. We'll be watching. Why is Powell speaking today? I did hear something. Did someone clarify, like, Trump was looking into new head, like, chair, Fed chair or whatever? I have no idea, but QQQ Spy and SPX. Well, you should be getting those from the YouTube video, right? But yeah, we'll put them up real quick. Hold on. I just forgot to screenshot them. Yeah, we like you guys to be able to see those daily expected moves. That's my bad. Sometimes I forget. We just did this not too long ago. Gotta change it. Browse. Where are you, you little bastard? Thanks for reminding me. Oh no, you're fine. I was just fucking with you. I literally was just like messing with you, dude. Yeah, there they are in the bottom right there. So 546.13 to the upside, 529.09. I know I'm not the best at clicking over to the Q, so I do not mind putting those in the bottom right. 466.56 to the upside and 449.42 to the downside. You're opening up pretty much in 13 minutes. If you open up here, you're opening up at that move. Once again, for the Qs, right? According to our weekly expected move, is this really, really probable? It's outside of our 68% zone, right? We see our 68% zone. So we see that pullbacks would make a lot more sense. It would be very nice for that too, as this has gone positive, to get that higher low in some way. For the time being, the 30-minute, hey, we're still within the what people kind of priced in for the day. Short selling will not be eliminated. Interesting. I mean, Nvidia puts, would you sell market open? I mean, that's up to you, right? That's a decision you're making. It is a 8-point move in a matter of before we even open. So, where was your target? What was your plan, right? AMD update, 2-hour pullback. Yeah, we looked at it a little bit ago, but AMD is just like, yeah, it's very, very likely to get a 2-hour pullback, right? It's just, can you see the support come in? Do you have information, right? Do you have weekly expected moves? Do you have areas to pay attention to? Are you finding those levels? Well, this is a potential area, right? You want to see if this can hold up. Hey, that's great, but we also understand that this is way down here, right? AMD could be a little bit more of a flush. Stock Lord. Stock Lord. Oh, man. So, yeah, Nicholas, it really just looks like this. This is a positive move. If it wants to get bad, this is how it would happen. You know, big gap just continues. But if this just figures its stuff out, maybe we go down to lower level. Either way, it's just like, do we do this or do we do this? Right? Either way, that's going to be a good thing. That's going to be a good thing. This one will be a lot more scary and a lot more tricky. And this one you should treat very carefully and make sure that these curl ups are actually coming in. Right? So what does this mean? It means if I was bullish on AMD and this changed, is this what I need to react to? Right? If I bought AMD here and I saw this going on here, and then I see the 2-hour cross down, well, what was my plan? Was my plan, hey, if this 2-hour cross is down, I'm out? Okay, then. You know, that's the type of decision making there, right? And then you might see a weekly expected move tagged, and then you might have a decision to make depending on what the stock looks like. Let's see here. Someone asked about gold. I am highly thinking about shorting now for like 2 months. Do you trade or chart crypto? Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, we look at crypto. So like Bitcoin, we said there's daily divergence. And we were talking about it forming down here. We saw that thing confirm, and we said, wow, that is a triple divergence on the RSI and a divergence on the MACD. So this means that it is a very high likelihood that this is a bottom. Very high likelihood that this is a bottom right now. Is it out of the risky area? Daily's still negative. So can we roll down? Yeah, you can experience a 4-hour pullback. Right? So what I'd look for now is I have confirmation, I have consolidation, I have a risk, right, with divergence that it could drop further. So maybe I just want to see, hey, can this 4-hour turn up? Because if that turns up and we break through here, we get back above 91.8K, well, I think your daily momentum is going to kick in, and then I think that Bitcoin will squeeze. If that doesn't turn up and keeps going down and then doesn't turn up and then keeps going down, is this thing going to get worse? It can't. But right now, it's just like it's in a bullish trend. If the 4-hour curls up, hey, we had that daily confirmation right here. Okay, we're back down to that level to retest it. Let's see if that thing curls up, and then we can probably see a big-ass move. We'll see. Gold going absolutely insane. Remember that what was it? Yesterday we were talking about 312. I said, 310 is very, very possible for gold this week. Very, very possible for GLD. But I'm about to risk to reward that bad boy. I think that's FOMOing. I think that's just fear buying gold. We have a ton of fear buying gold with a 0.28% drop for the SPY. Love it. Does that make sense? Kat, you got that? It doesn't matter. Here's the thing, Richard. I'd be careful there. I am. I always am. You know, risk to reward plays. I don't have to do a big amount of money. And, you know, position size has just been so important lately that it's just kind of like second nature at this point. I met with Meta. Oh, Meta. Yeah. Meta, I'm still paying attention if we actually get things to reverse back around. Right, we need this to reverse back around. And this could have a lot of time to spend down here, but the 2-hour chart has to curl up. And then I'm feeling very comfortable, right? Then I think we're going to go test at least 580 again, and we'll see what happens. If we get this 2-hour to curl up, I think we're going to go test this high in some way. That's a big, big high. Had a blip? Interesting. I don't really see a 40-point blip, but maybe. You mean on this one? Oh, on 100 volume. That could just be a light volume move. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just like, volume, cool. Volume's getting low. Now we're seeing volume increase. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. What do you think Jay Pizzle going to talk about today? Who's thinking about that? Anybody think about Jay Pizzle for shizzle dizzle? What the heck's Daddy Powell going to say? It shot from 509 to 535 and back down. 535 and it shot back down. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to try to be, you know, relaxed today. This is when being very relaxed can pay off. Being very relaxed, paying attention to this, paying attention to even Meta, right? Even Meta, Microsoft, and Google, those things could see bigger pullbacks. They have divergence there. They could really start to get down. I'm just going to look at my weekly expected moves. Google. Ooh, let's look at the Googmeister. Googmeister, where are you going? How far are you going? Ooh, you can go deeper. Go 5 points deeper, big dog. Go 5 points deeper. I'm down like a clown from Browntown, hummy. IWM. I think someone did ask about IWM this morning, so let's go over and look at IWM real quick. IWM is definitely the weaker of the indices for sure, right? And we see that from the actual proof here, which is your MACD is not very positive, right? Everything else, I think even DIA is positive, right? Q is pretty damn positive, right? SPY positive and some like more than IWM. I think IWM is the one with actual risk to go down to deeper prices, right? To really get here if things get bad. But for the time being, I mean, it's down 0.66. That's just not even that much. And we could just see this, you know, drift down, drift down, drift down, and then just curl back up. So if this crosses, I might treat it seriously. But for IWM, I think that this thing is, if it goes down to deeper prices, I'm happy about it. Like, then I get to use my 95% line in the sand and, and really have a good time with it. Tesla, baby. Tesla. Man, this is one of the weirdest looks, man. I'm just telling you. I mean, I guess it would be maybe a continuation triangle, maybe some sort of flagging in some way. But for the time being, 2-hour crosses down for Tesla. Well, what's it look like? What do we think it could get to? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking this could go to lower levels. I think Tesla, if this is going to get really bad for Tesla all of a sudden, let's say it gets really bad, which I'm not necessarily leaning towards. I think that we could just turn up at any time. But let's look at this. We left behind a gap. And we see that this move was this length. So it kind of tells us, okay, well, from that maybe breakout in some way, we'll just take it from a random point in there. Okay, we can go down into these lows, which just tells me, like, I'm not someone who thinks measured moves are the greatest thing in the world. I think expected moves are much better and just paying attention to what's actually happening in front of you. But if this 2 hour is going to cross in the morning here, we could see that move come all the way down to these lows, right? We could make that divergence point over the next couple of sessions. So that would be interesting. But my question is just like, what Jerome Powell gonna do? You know, what the heck is that guy gonna do today? What is he here to say? If anyone's got intel, let us know, man. Let us know. Not Intel the stock, guys. Hey Fred, how's it going? Stressla. Yeah, we've been over Nvidia a few times. You might have to go back for that. We can check on it. Give us, give it 30 minutes or something like that, and then we'll probably check on those again, right? Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia. Wolf looks good. I just want to see the daily. The daily's what matters. Ooh. Oh, looking good, dude. Yeah. That's rough. At least it might pop up on the 2 hour here. Yeah, 2 hour. Ooh, very squeeze like though. So what this overall means is you're squeezing to the downside, which means it's very, very difficult to call like a bottom, right? So options will be difficult here, but if you see that massive move and you're expecting, hey, maybe it can get back to here, there's always a small amount of money you know, with 2 months behind it can maybe go a long way, but that's just risk to reward. That's not, there's nothing here that really says like, oh yeah, that's a bottom. What you do have is a big drop, good tapering, but still very squeezed to the downside, very crash-like behavior, just very, controlled crash-like behavior. Now you've kind of done this and you're kind of shifting up, so we'll see. But if this just crosses down, it's going to get much worse. But maybe earnings, earnings can shape things up a little differently. Let's look at our boy Rumble. Always click right as it opens up. That thing's evened out a little bit. Oof, daily at risk there, though. Let's not look at Rumble anymore. Oh, yeah. See, if you're just doing shares, then you're pretty happy with it, right? You're just like, hey, it's cheap. I understand the risk of that. Hopefully, you know more about the company than I do, right? I didn't even know what kind of company they were until just like 6 months ago, maybe. Um, but yeah, I think shares are much more the logical thing there. Options, hey, you can get lucky, and maybe it's the right time for that to get lucky. But overall, shares seem very logical to me because that could just sit down there for like weeks. Here we go. You see Adam Aaron's tweet with the Looney Tune pig and the Bitcoin hat? What? I mean, I'll go look. Let me zoom in on this for you guys so you can see daily expected moves coming into play here. Oh my gosh, how am I behind? I've literally been here for like, I've been sitting at my desk for like 45 minutes and I'm somehow behind right off the bat. What the heck is my problem? There we go. Here, and then I'll look at that little tweet or something. Seems interesting. So we could sit down here for a bit. Great. Looks good. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go read it real quick. Wow, Apple, go, Apple. There you go, Apple. Fill that gap. This is horrible right now, though, guys. Right? We'll see. Nvidia going back into that little zone. See what happens there. I'm just kind of looking through weekly expected moves, right? That's the benefit of having weekly expected moves. I can just click through and be like, what's that a weekly move? So I'm going to do that right now. It's not Apple, I can tell you that much. Clicking through. Meta seems the closest. DJT, that was weird. That's all like 6% move yesterday. Dropping off. SoFi, weirdly enough. Oh, Palantir. That's what we need to look at. We need to go look at Palantir, see how that one's shaped up. This one was crazy, but Palantir does this, man. Palantir does this so often where it just makes stuff that looks absolutely just terrible. And then it just does this, and then it like retests, does this, and then it just keeps going. It's kind of wild, but more likely here, right? The bigger probability here is you're going to see a 2-hour pullback for Palantir. That can get aggressive. It's been a solid move. There's a lot of resistance here. Patreon members, you know what's above here. And then, ooh, watch if that type of move does happen. Now, if that happens, it's going to be very dramatic, right? It's going to be very dramatic. But I'll tell you right now, that whole move, if we did this in the next today and tomorrow, that'd be priced in by the market. That's how volatile this market really is. Palantir is Jewish? Is it? Wait, is it? I have no idea. The Star of David is Palantir. AVGO just retesting into the highs. That's great. I would like it to go down to 165.89. I didn't look at that one yet. It's getting close. 165.89 would be nice. JP Morgan, no real big amount of selling. Nvidia, we will check on in about 25 minutes. We'll check on Nvidia and Apple and go through a lot of these again. SPY, getting right to that monthly expected move, right? We see how it's sitting right above it. Very nice. And all we have to do is sit and be like, all right, is the 2-hour crossing? You know, it's not even crossed yet. How crazy is that? So that means for us, if the 30-minute crosses up, good things can happen. So let's chill here for a bit. Alexander Kevin Carr, Peter, and Lockdown, and Nathan Dale Giddings. Oh, I don't know. Then the stock will probably do well. If it has a bunch of Jews, then it probably does well. Okay, we want to go here. Oh my gosh, my stuff is so messed up now. The better question is who cares? Oh, cancel. The better question is who cares? That's kind of what I'm like. I'm like, all right, cool. It probably does pretty good. They're what, good at math or something, right? So I almost deleted my whole display capture. That would have been bad. Puts was clearly the way. Are you saying that now that you're seeing downside? Or are you saying that did you take puts yesterday? Everything's clear in hindsight, right? We were just posting how bears are here, bulls are down here. You know, if we really wanted to, the bears get a good push here, well, there's bulls down here, so. I don't care, I just look at charts. Did I walk into a college protest or something? APLD is worth buying for a long-term hold. I think APLD is not bad. APLD has been pretty good for a long time. It's been good for a while. And you're coming down into these areas again on the daily scale. Like from a straight up just investment perspective, you'd want to look at more and more and more into the company. I mean, obviously you can see worse things and you maybe want to wait for things to at least get a little bit better, right? Before making a decision. So something to note is maybe you just say, okay, well, this is a death cross and that's horrible, right? That's just the worst thing ever. Okay, cool. A lot of time death crosses, you're very, very close to a bottom. Now, that could be different for an individual company, right? That's what I talk about with the SPY. But the death cross here, I'd be looking for signals that say, hey, this is a good investment. I'd be looking for that turnaround. Or just understanding, hey, investments are like this, right? Investments are very much so at least buying low and selling high. But if it goes like this, oh God, if it kind of does that and fails again, right? You get a bigger move and then it just drops. Oh, that's going to be a problem. So do your research into the fundamentals of the company. You don't have a lot of technicals that would say like, oh yes, this is a great thing right now. All you have is, hey, you're going down into areas of support where you have seen great things all the time. Even this was the breakout, right? So if you really want to draw a box here and say, where do people like this stock? You could potentially even take right here, just go like that. Maybe you extend it to the lows. Okay, that's a pretty good zone. That's all I'd really be looking at, though. VIX starting to fall off. Yeah, like there's just more like support levels, and it's like, is that a comfortable price? I don't think it's a bad company by any means. China didn't call Trump. Cool. They probably should. I'm allergic to the brainlessness. Yeah, Robert, you're welcome, and I appreciate you asking. There's no real signals for turnaround, and things are very much so facing in that downward direction, but that's where it's going to be up to you and be like, do I see good things from this company? Maybe you need to look at their actual, earnings and look at the revenues and see if their growth is taking place and things like that as well. That's going to be more so a fundamental thing. It doesn't look like an uncomfortable price, I will say that. They won't call. I think everyone bets that they won't call, so I'll risk to reward that. I'll tell you what. I'll bet you $5. So if you're right, I pay you $5. But since it's very unlikely they call, and I'm gonna bet on that, then you owe me $100. It's very unlikely. Okay, I'll bet to this. I'll pay you $20. $20, right? And then if I'm right though, and they do call eventually in 2025, then $100. I'm just joshing with you, by the way, Steven. Either way, it puts China in a terrible spot financially for their entire country. That's why they're pumping money like never before. Some help. It ain't like I came about the 1 hour chart, but bullish below remains bearish. Below what? 535.88. 535. Are you just taking the wick or something? Yeah, you're taking the close here in this area, 535.89. I don't. They've been doing running. Is this catching up to you? Man, this. After all the shit you did. Super bearish for the SPY right now. I had some help. I'm with Mr. Wonderful. Squeeze him. Same. It's not hard. If you think America will collapse, China will collapse way before if they keep doing this and they're not able to make deals with actual consumer bases. Simple as that. They can put us through pain. They can put the whole world through pain. Fine with me. I'll trade it. It's not our fault. It'd be China's. We will survive. We're Americans. You know who won't? The people who fuck with us. Bye-bye. You can do stupid things and you'll get stupid answers. La-dee-doo, we're playing some tune. Oh, let's see how that PCC opens up this morning. I know, and I think that's great. I think that's great. Like I said, I'm still in the case of like I'm still pretty humanitarian about it. I want everyone's life to get better, even the Chinese. I would love for their life to get better. It means that if they want to get better, they can't keep doing the same things. And the communist state, the people at the top, they don't want to change, right? So it's going to be very difficult. And I feel for those people. But America, we will survive. We will be good. We'll be perfectly fine, even if we go through something terrible. I choose to have resolve. I choose to have positivity. I choose to have confidence. I mean, we just sent Katy Perry into space, and it was one of the lamest things ever. Come on. We're awesome. We send... Jesus. We're just sending people to space for no reason. I don't know. I don't even know if we did for real. Yeah, well, Martin, tell that to the people in America who are rooting for China right now. They're blatantly rooting against all of like the Chinese actual citizens, or as someone said, the serfs and peasants. Oh wait, we can't talk about this stuff. We're on YouTube. Wait till Rumble later, then we'll talk about it. For now, let's do that double check. I know it's only been 15 minutes, but let's do that double check over on Nvidia. Who I'd be if I was happy. 2 hour is crossing down on a very negative bar. Good thing we have some levels to pay attention to over on Patreon. God's fantastic. Can you head lower? Yes. I would love to go lower. That would be a perfect retest of the last breakout area. Hey, send me down to the gap. I'm down with that too, baby. Some bridges burned. I'm not ready to rebuild yet. Let's see. And then we need to go over. So this just looks like 2 hour pullback for now. I know it's aggressive, but that's what it is. Crossing the center line for the RSI, not the best news. It means it can be pretty aggressive. Apple, though, this one I believe curling down on the 2 hour as well over here. We're a little laggy. Actually, not even crossed over yet, so very good. Did leave the gap behind. Ooh, unfinished business. Oh, me likey, me likey. Go down to 190.52 again, Apple. I dare you. Actually, I'm too worried about you, Apple. I can't have you because you're a part of China, and now you can't even fly your planes back and grab a bunch of iPhones. That's bad. Surprised it wasn't worse for Apple. Is Powell on today? Hell yeah, he is. Ladies on the bowing. Is Powell on today? Yes, he is on today. I will just show you guys as far as like data and everything that came out this morning. I guess we could go over that real quickly. Retail sales came in at 1.4%. Does that show weakness? Does that show weakness? Does that show recession? That doesn't look like recession to me. Now, at the same time, Jerome Powell will come out and talk around 12:30. That is Central Time, so it would be 1:30 Eastern. Jerome Powell is speaking. Let's see what he'll be talking about. Okay, well, can I click on this? Let me just check on this real quick. Oh, it says a... What? Why does it say 11:30 Eastern Time? That doesn't make sense. Jerome Powell today is speaking at the Economic Club of Chicago. His remarks are expected to focus on inflation data, economic prospects, and the Federal Reserve's monetary policy, particularly in response to recent market volatility driven by President Trump's unpredictable tariff policies. Investors are looking for clues on whether Jerome Powell will signal maintaining higher interest rates to combat inflation or lean towards rate cuts to address rising unemployment risk, as tariffs are expected to elevate inflation while slowing economic growth. The speech comes and heightened market uncertainty. The speech comes amid heightened market uncertainty with global trade tensions and a strong U.S. economy complicating the Fed's path forward. I think they're behind and they need to cut, and people are going to celebrate that. I think they're going to feel very behind and they're going to cut because of everything going on. But we'll see. You know, if anything, they said, we're not going to react to it. We're going to wait. We're going to sit on our hands. And it's more probable for them to sit on their hands based on what they've said. But thoughts on the SPY? It will move from left to right. Thoughts on the SPY are pretty much, is this a 2-hour pullback, right? Is this a 2-hour pullback or is this a 2-hour blip, right? So the opportunity here says, is this going to be a 2-hour pullback and we're going to see an aggressive retrace? Because that would be a little bit, more aggressive. We would say more of a retrace. And are we going to go down to these levels to really shake people out? Shake people out down at the lows? Or is this just going to be a little blip in time and we're actually just going to see the 30-minute curl up? Are we going to remain in the daily expected moves? People are expecting huge volatility still, right? People are still expecting there to be huge swings. This is not as big of a swing as we normally get, right? We normally get like 4% or something like that. 4%. Now we're getting nothing. So let's see. And that 530 was pretty damn important. Let's see if it became important more so today. Let's go check. Nope, not that. Don't click on that. That's silly. No. Okay. I must open up TradingView, and sometimes that, when you open up the browser after having the app up, it messes with it. That's not good. Okay, we're good. We're safe. Everyone feels safe and secure. So it looks like to the downside, 508, but the first point to pay attention to was actually that 540, so we're right below that right away. A lot of puts, a lot of calls there, decent amount, not a ton. The bigger expiration is obviously tomorrow. Compared to today is nothing. Tomorrow, there's 10 times more money already placed, and if not, going to grow today. So as far as this goes, it's bad to lose 540. The next point I'd pay attention to is 530. And if we go all the way down, the point of 500, right? We can see 3 points that I'm really paying attention to here. This point right here, 540, we lost that. Okay, so 530, that's where we're at. If we lose 530, we could see a flush to 500, but we do have other things in here, right? And at the end of the day, what's the most important thing? Price action. So if this 30-minute curls up into positive territory, what's going to happen? Well, we are very likely to take out these highs and go make a new one. Now, we can see if that leads towards a trap, because bears are where? Bears are here. Bulls are going to be all in here. Bulls have a big zone to try to catch this thing, but that's why we're going to pay attention, because it is such a big zone. We don't necessarily want to be guessing, right? Guessing. No, we just want to see, does it do this? And then, let the market tell you what to do. Let the charts tell you what to do. Does it do this? All right, let the charts tell you what to do. Does it do this? Let the charts tell you what to do. What to do. It's very good. Reacting, right? We're reading into the future. We're not predicting what is going to happen. We're trying to see what seems the most probable for the time being, using the information we have, and then making a plan around that if something similar to that does take place, because the market can do whatever the market wants to do. Sorry, I'm fucking rocking out right now. I don't know. I gotta do some head bobs here. God, I love those headbangers. How long till Powell speaks? What? I don't know, 4 hours or so. 4 hours-ish, 3.5. I mean, this week's may be considered boring. You're still getting 1% moves up and down. Like, it looks boring because this is how it's shaping up. But let's do this. Let's go show you something really boring. All right, let's show you something really boring. Let's see if we can find something a little more boring. Yeah, I probably just have to go like in here somewhere. You think that's boring? This This is way less volatile than we're at right now. Right now, these bars would look like this. That's what we're experiencing right now. It's all a matter of perspective. Even this thing curling down, right? Even this just pullback, it's still way more aggressive than what you normally experience. Yeah. All right, we're starting to break through. See if we go tag that daily move. Still priced in for the market. What's Nvidia doing? I'm gonna go look through those moves again. Sitting in this room playing Russian roulette. See, now Apple's really losing that, suggesting a bigger drop can come. All right, starting to lose that 5-day. So Apple starting to lose the 5-day right in here once it loads up. There you go. Starting to lose that 5-day, which means we could head where? Here. We could head all the way down to here. We could head into here. I'm cool with it. I cannot see. Because everyone uses the 1 hour, and I have studied 30-minute and 2-hour charts to see how they react together. So my belief is, and my research has shown me, that signals from a 30-minute chart are more likely to show me what happens next in the 2-hour chart. So what I do is I utilize the 30-minute to tell me about 2-hour charts. I utilize the 2-hour to tell me about daily charts. And I get less fake outs on a 2-hour than I would on an hourly, weirdly enough. Now I'll get more fake outs on a 30-minute, but I understand that. Yeah, AS. It's just something that I studied for years. I've been looking at 30-minute. I used to look at 15-minute charts, hourly charts, right? That's what I used to look at. 15-minute charts, hourly charts, and daily charts. Throughout my trading, I noticed that that did not help me at all in figuring out daily bottoms. So then I learned more, and I learned more, and I learned more. So if you want to get really good at 30-minute and 2-hour charts, I do have a link down in the description for you. It's 80% off right now for the full technical analysis course. It'll tell you how to really, what I do around these type of ranges, how I actually trade around them. How I caught this trade is pretty much the prime example. And sometimes you get lucky, right? We didn't know that was going to happen. We just assumed we would get to here eventually, right? Eventually. And then it happened in 2 hours, and we were like, whoa, okay, I thought I'd have to hold on to that for like a week. Nope, it's done. The trade was done pretty much, but left some runners, took profit. Really nice trade. Yeah, yes, but stick around on YouTube, man. You can learn a lot probably just from watching the channel. How did I study? What method? Just backtest. Well, when people say backtest, they like create a program and backtest. I just went through charts forever and then started to pay attention to weekly expected moves and looked at what would happen, and boom, that's how it worked. Based on my goal, how did I overall do it? A lot of mistakes. That's all mistakes, Martin. I took things close to the money, didn't work out. Took things far away from the money, didn't work out. Find the area where I'm comfortable, and more so just paid attention to, once you get to a point, with at least how I think about it, to me, what I like to do is I like to take the option that is at a certain expected move, right? So that's why here, like say here, this right here. What did I buy? Well, I bought some here, right? I targeted the upside weekly expected move, right? And what did we do? We got there, right? So a lot of the time I just do it that way. Now, a lot of the time I do suggest, don't go more than like 5 to 10% out of the money or something like that. But everyone's different when it comes to what options they like to take. Obviously, there's more risk in taking something that's further away, but if you give yourself time, it's good. It's Trump versus world. What about call Trump and stopping this madness? It is not Trump versus the world. It is in no way Trump versus the world. If it was Trump versus the world, no one would be coming to the table. Very negative thinking. I choose to be positive, and that's fine. Next level, you can be as negative as you want about it. You know, it's you. You're allowed to do what you want to do. You know, you're allowed to feel however you want to feel, and I'm allowed to be positive about it. What's positive about it? Americans getting higher wages, regular Americans getting higher wages, being able to produce things ourselves here, right? Not being dependent on other countries for simple things. I think that'd be great. Well, we already checked on video like literally 10 minutes ago. It's still in the same spot. Nothing's changed. That's why checking on it every time someone asks is just like, okay. Bro, you are belittling a lot of work that a lot of Americans need. I want you to understand what you are saying. Like if you and type it out, say it plain and simple. Hey, these Americans who have very low, super low paying jobs who could actually get jobs that actually create a good function. Maybe it's not the best job in the world, but it is something that can benefit their life. That can be a good thing. And guess what? Their wages would increase as more jobs get taken by those people and more companies come here. You get the shrinkage, right? If you're saying you need American workers and then all these companies come in and pump jobs, pump jobs, pump jobs, that will cause wages to increase because there's a limited amount of workers. Do not belittle work that you see as beneath you, right? Because without that work, you would not have your cars. Without that work, you would not have your phone. People need that work. Working at McDonald's, people need that work. Wages will increase if are companies reacting? Are jobs coming to the United States? Well, guess what? That means more job positions. Well, did the employee pool get bigger or smaller? Well, potentially smaller because we're taking care of illegal immigration. So you have the same amount of workers with more jobs. That is going to create competition. And competition means wages should increase. That is something that we gave away in 1971. If they pull it off, it is a very beneficial thing for the American worker. You were the one, then I'll be there. I just don't like the tone of everyone online all the time. Everyone's just so belittling of work. Like everyone laughing at the memes that China is posting and, seeing a person who they're showing you as an American working in a place trying to feed their family, and you're going to make fun of that, going to talk badly about that. Those people won't get paid 50 cents an hour. They won't get paid 50 cents an hour. If I told you right now, if you were making $20 an hour and assembling some part in a line, they would pay you $35 an hour, would you switch? Between suddenly, hey, don't spend on defense, spend on people. Defense is very, very important. You know who benefits from us spending on defense as well? China. The world. They take all of our stuff and they end up utilizing it, and then they implement it themselves and build it themselves. But, at the end of the day, guys, we're trading stocks. We're not here to figure out this type of stuff. You can feel however you want to feel about it, and I can feel how I want to feel about it. But at the end of the day, if you're lining up with the mainstream media, I would say that's a bad idea. It's a low probability. $7 I've been willing to take it. And I still think we're going to go through something awful. It's going to be a huge adjustment period. All right, let's see. 2 hour not crossed. 30-minute. Now we're breaking through here. Let's get rid of this so we can see better. Going down to the daily expected moves priced in by the market as of right now. Apple really looking like you want to go lower. Do you want to go lower? Do you really want to go lower, Apple? We'll see, I guess. Really, I just, you know. Apple, stay strong. Nvidia looks like. What time frame are you looking at for that bear flag idea? We need this today. We need this on the screen today. Let's see. All right, let's get back to the stream. $30-minute as of right now, crossing through that center line. A little bit risky there for that to be doing so. We'll find out. Can you open up QQQ weekly moves? Weeklies, you just need to see weeklies real quick. Weeklies, 479.86 to the upside, 428.94. So that would be where I'm looking at the 2 hour to potentially get to now. Potentially. PCC, people really trying to shorten these areas, and really the 30 minutes just barely going negative. We'll see what happens. Maybe, Rajiv. Maybe. That is a possibility, right, Rajiv? It is a possibility. You should go into politics next level. We like stocks. And I like America. It's so bad that the housing market is absolutely collapsing right now. Things are terrible. So housing is definitely collapsing right now. Yeah, for the time being, it's not in the charts. It has collapsed for a little bit. Ah, damn. I'm just going to stay on the SPY because this thing's being wonky. Go into politics. Make a change. Make the changes you're talking about. This ain't politics here. Oh, nigga, used to. American Tower. American Tower. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Yeah, probably not. David, do you have the ticker for that? He's been asking me for 2 days. I'm so sorry, David. I get it, next. I get you. I get you, buddy. Yeah, I tried typing it in. I didn't get it. Just not everyone wants to be a scientist, and most people just want to feed their families and have a simple life. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I hope we put ourselves in a position to do so. As far as that's a good move. No real signals for that move, too. Very nice, just that higher low. Okay. Yeah, looking at this, not bad. Very good move for the 30-minute. 30-minute pulls back. Hey, 30 minutes still above the 5. Look for that to curl back up first. 2-hour could see a pullback here, but it's not even overbought. So this is pretty good. Now, as far as getting to a good level, right? The wick, the resistance coming in again. 2-hour pullback, maybe it gets that big reload. We'll see. But the 30-minute here is so positive that if you do this and you can see a strong move, that's going to be key, right? You don't want to see something like that because that's going to be divergence, right? You don't want to see divergence here. You want to see a good move from that if the 30 minutes going to be the thing to watch. If you're going to get a 2-hour pullback, well, then you're either going to see the 2-hour just slowly cross right here and keep going down towards these levels of, I'd say 208. 208 looks pretty good. If you're lucky, it can hold up at like 212.50. But as of right now, the 30-minute, if that just curls back up, you can see positivity. Let's just watch out for traps here. As far as it goes, though, the 2 hour is able to go positive. If it could pull down to these areas or pull down even deeper into these areas towards that 208, right? Anywhere right in here is where I'd probably pay attention and see if that thing can turn around, wait for that buy to come in and see if that heads to the upside, because then you're just going to be higher low. And that's going to be the move that really starts off by going positive. Okay, that could be the bigger move than even this. The bad comes the good, but I'm going to live my life like I should. And all the critics want to hit it. No crossover yet. IWM. Wow. IWM holding up pretty well. Okay, GME is starting to do that. Come down, come down. See if the 2 hour does confirm. There's your 2 hour confirmation. So this means that here would be a good thing, right? We're actually showing you the levels, right? We showed you the upside. Here's the downside. There's the monthly expected move. Resistance comes in right at it. Great stuff to pay attention to. So for GME, I'm looking at that bottom, right? I'm just looking at the bottom side weekly expected moves on all these charts pretty much. But hey, is all the world has even seen lately. You're not trading China stocks? No, no. I have my stocks that I like to trade. I look at BABA and stuff like that every once in a while. I think BABA would be nice. Like BABA could be interesting. Let's look at the HSI. This is good for the 2 hour here. If that 2 hour can get that support there, boom. Now what we watch for is this a dead cat bounce? This looks like this has high potential to be a dead cat bounce, going to the perfect levels to get that. We'll see. What that would mean is if we're seeing a dead cat bounce, you could see a 2 hour divergence here. If not, though, if that can blow through, that would be a good thing. And then you might have daily momentum back with China in the Hang Seng. I've been on my mind every second with my fist. And everybody gonna run. Everybody wanna hide from the gun. Nothing. I'm just looking for anything that's seriously breaking down. I mean, Palantir and GME, those ones look risky for now, but Google, Meta, Nvidia, still seeing that same exact thing for Nvidia. AMD. Now I know why you want to hate me. Apple, I just feel like a bigger retrace would make more sense. Tesla looks so flaggy, built a lot of liquidity. We'll see. Earnings season right around the corner. You are correct. Actually, we're pretty much there, right? Right now I'm listening to some Limp Bizkit. I really just like to listen to I like to listen to the drum part a little bit more, so I follow a drummer. Her name is Christina Rybalchenko. I like to hear the drums a little bit more pronounced because I want to learn the drums. I've always wanted to. My parents refused to get me a drum set. Get your nutsack off my drum set. Oh god. All right, now Limp Bizkit. I kind of have a different playlist today. I'll listen to all kinds. I just don't listen to a lot of country. Oh, wow. You met Sam? That's dope. You're doing this for the nookie. Oh, I like it, Huckleberry. That's funny. Really? I've, you know, I kind of heard the opposite, but I was just watching one thing. I was watching one person report on it, so maybe I don't have enough versatility looking at what's actually being done with buybacks. Ow, god, dude, also there's some funkiness with my mic yesterday. I don't know what was happening with that in the video. Now we're listening to some Bring Me Horizon. Bring Me the Horizon. Terrible names, obviously. Come on. Yeah, I didn't research this and probably should. Started cool. What the heck is Powell gonna do, man? Richard. The truth will set you free. Marketing, actually, next level. I was in marketing for like 10 years. And I traded on the side. I was still in marketing, even making money while trading. I could live off my trading. And then that's when I was like, hey, why don't I start a YouTube channel to try to be helpful? You can thank my wife for that, or else I wouldn't have been doing it. And my brother. My brother told me that. He's like, if you're just trading all the time, you're not necessarily doing any good for the world. And I said, well, that kind of hit me in the feels. So I started to be like, all right, I want to do some good for the world. Maybe I can help out some traders who want to become traders. Very rude thing to say of him, but he was right. Just trading doesn't necessarily benefit the world. It benefits me and my family. Place to be. But yeah, I used to have my own company, and then good old COVID. We can't talk about that here, though. It's unfortunate. Next level, if you ever want to, I should show you guys my app someday. I think I can still get it to work. Its code is very bad right now. Probably there's probably so many bugs that kind of developed. But it was dope. It was just getting off the ground. Oh yeah, I was very, very good at it, and I started doing freelance marketing after a while because they just, like that's the big problem here is like with a lot of jobs is they try to make you do things that are past your contract, and I was building full websites and it wasn't even in my contract. And I was managing those websites for those clients, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. It was in the restaurant industry. I made an app that could show you locally owned restaurant specials. So, like locally owned businesses, they would tell you, like, hey, you want to have a business meeting and go get a burger? Oh, well, there's a restaurant, a really nice restaurant next to you that does a $6 burger and fries every Monday. And then they would go and do that for lunch. I had no funding. I funded it all myself, and then COVID hit. So you can imagine what I went through back then. Yeah, the Mad Dog. That's true. I guess I am benefiting someone back in the day, just trading. I'm giving liquidity. Chest bumping buddies. Whenever I read Next Level, I think of Solo Leveling and how insane that show has become. Okay, let's see here. AVGO announced a $10 billion buyback program in April of 2025. General Motors $6 billion repurchase program in February 2025. No, the big boys. Let's look at the big boys. Apple is likely to continue with 110 billion authorized for 2025 in a buyback. No definitive answer there. There is a $70 billion buyback program for Google happening at this moment. Meta announced a $40 billion buyback program in 2025. Those are the ones I really care about. Other than that, I'd have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Those aren't massive numbers, but they are numbers. They are that. They are numbers. Lemonade. Didn't we look at Lemonade yesterday? Yo, it's almost summer, right? People should be getting lemonade. It's at that 200, retesting the breakout area from November of 2024. Very good retest. Do we see any inclination? You have divergence at the low for a double bottom. So this says that Lemonade is attempting to make a bottom like now. It already has, it's attempting to do it now. Interesting. The reality. Ally. That might be a weekly scale thing, actually. Weekly, you have weekly divergence on the RSI, not necessarily MACD. I'd pay attention if a weekly curls up. Weekly curls up, that'd be nice. Daily, you don't have the best things going on, just this like flat divergence on the MACD. I don't even think it's on the RSI. I think it's deeper, so it's not the best to go off of. You only have it on the MACD. Kind of rough when it's only on the MACD. But overall, if you zoom out, you kind of go, okay, what are we doing? Well, we could go deeper and retest. Oh, we already did, actually. You go retest 30. So you've retested that level. If you want to go deeper, well, go retest the actual full breakout at 2750. But these levels are looking pretty decent. I think from the weekly time frame, I would just see if like, hey, can weekly take back all these moving averages and then be like, all right, make a decision maybe after that. Not bad. I'm on the right side of reality. Meta risk to reward looking good. I'd have to agree with you. It's a little bit, it just had some bad news. Someone told me that bad news yesterday, but I already forgot it. If you want to remind us. Pull back with time likely. Yeah, as of right now, it looks like potential for it just looks like a pullback. We'll see if this develops more and more. But this was expected for the day. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? Oh, shoot, guys, I haven't been drinking my coffee. God dang it, I always do this. I chat with you guys so much, and then I don't drink my damn coffee, and then it gets, like, Luke warm, which I have very cold hands and feet. The doctor said I have poor circulation to the outer extremities, and it runs in my family. Lame. Oh, wait, we gotta do a poll today. We haven't done a poll in a couple days. We gotta do a poll today. Should we do like a Jerome Powell poll? Start a poll. Let's see. Jerome Powell. Angel or demon today? Let's do that. Angel? Let's clarify. Bullish. Like, will he turn the market bullish or a demon? Bearish. Let's see that vote. Will J. Powell whip his manhood out the podium? No. Will Jerome Powell tell someone to shut the f***ing door? I had a dream. It's been whiskey need. DJT moving. I bet Powell is cursing Trump, probably. Those guys probably hate each other at the end of this. Whoa. Uh-oh, did Trump post something on Truth Social? Do I need to log into my Truth Social account? Oh, God. I'm always nervous to read Trump tweets. Oh, he's just talking crap on Joe Biden. Okay. All right, Trump. Chill out, dude. Japan is coming in today, 4 hours ago. Japan is coming in today to negotiate tariffs. The cost of military support and trade fairness is what they're going to be tackling. I will attend the meeting along with Treasury and Commerce secretaries. Hopefully something can be worked out, which is good or great for Japan and the USA. I love the fact that he's including the other country, right? I want it to be good for both countries, especially Japan. You guys know I love Japan. Oh my goodness, my friends just called me from Japan yesterday. We had a nice FaceTime conversation. They're moving back to the States soon, and oh my goodness, they're almost sad about it. They love it there. They absolutely love it there, and I love it, love it, love it. Me and my wife love the Japanese culture, so I am very excited if we can do something that's beneficial for both the United States and Japan. I love the respect there. The respect for children, the respect for the elderly. I love it. I think it is fantastic. Why are they moving back? Because he's a captain in the Air Force, so he's been there for 3 years. Yeah, can Trump say again? Can Trump just be like, can Trump do that insider trade thing again? Friggin' idiot. How stupid was that? GME poppin'. Yeah, this is the thing. The 30-minute is still positive. Now, these things have confirmed, suggesting 2-hour pullback's the most probable. You know it's not probable? Well, we talk about these things, right? We know it's never probable. Like, really the most probable thing is short squeeze. But there are moments where you pay attention, because if something crazy happens from here, 30-minute crosses up, and you start to see big things, this is what you got to do. You got to see a crazy move outside of the monthly. And where are you? You're right at that monthly move right now. So, am I taking my options off? Hell no, not till I see something bloody. Good day to buy. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. We were insiders, I guess, because we caught the signals right there. Bam, that was the trigger. 501. Whiskey neat, go. See, we're kind of going back and forth between like some rock vibes and then some just vibey bebop music with good vocals. I like good vocals. No, 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 no. All right, let's see here. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, keep my eye on Meta. Keep my eye on Nvidia as well over on my right side. So if you have questions about Nvidia, it's just in the same spot. It's just in the same spot. AMD doing something. AMD came down and filled the gap. Very nice to fill one of them. Lincoln Park yesterday. He's 4. That's so awesome. What song was he listening to, Richard? Cherish the Day by Sade. Just a vibe. I see he's moving back for work. They want to move back themselves. Love Japan. I think they would stay if they could. I genuinely think they could, but they are missing family, and you know they want to start their own family. I think so. I think like they want to be near the grandparents and all that. I'm hopefully gonna. I really want to surprise them and come visit this summer before they move back because I haven't visited. Oh, and Dean, 5 minutes ago. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate you, buddy. See, my wife's a big 3 Days Grace fan. I'm not the biggest 3 Days Grace fan. Do like me some Pop. I got to see them a few times. Oh, love this song. Now I gotta plug in my Beat Saber. Plugging it in right here, right now. Because I'm gonna play this during my lunch. Why am I gonna stare at charts when I could play Beat Saber for like 30 minutes? And then I can stare at charts. Yeah, Pete, that's a good thing, right? All you have to do is say, hey, I don't like this stuff. This is very, very volatile. I'm just going to sit out. Right? What the heck are these emojis? Sumi, Samui. Many people missing living there a little now back in pricey Netherlands. Hey, you're a Netterhead. Orange Army, baby. Let's go. I need to buy me my Netherlands jersey. It's my favorite international team. Oh, I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm going to splash some coffee in this to heat it up. Best team of the 70s, never to win a World Cup. I know. Crazy, maybe all done. I think you gotta wait to see. I mean, people are gonna hang on Jerome Powell. Take a look at XYZ. Yeah, we can take a look at that monumental. Let me look at it on my other screen so we can keep this on the SPY. XYZ, you said? Yeah, we've looked at this a few times. This is so good. I mean, it's good that it's holding and just seeing a pullback with time. Immediately, you're 30-minute. You're okay. You're like, okay, we have this. Awesome. We did this. Awesome. We did this. Awesome. We need to see another push. We need to see that try to break through and get to 58.74 up towards this high. That'd be great. But you got to break through some stuff first, right? We see that. You got to break through. But this is good. You're pulling back with time, okay? You're just overall moving sideways. Okay, awesome. If the 2-hour cross is down, what's the vulnerability here? Well, it'd be we go and try to make a 2-hour higher low, right? So, has this crossed down yet? No. Do we see extreme weakness? No. Have we really lost the 5 yet? No. So is the risk really, really bad right now? Or are we just seeing a 30-minute move sideways, and we'll see if this thing curls up. If it starts to go negative, we can start to look at that 2-hour chart, be a little more worried. If it starts to lose the 5, be more worried, right? If it starts to lose these levels, hey, that's where bad things can happen, right? But overall, the 2-hour is suggesting that that would just be some kind of 2-hour pullback in some fashion. If that's dramatic to go retest the breakout area, that can go down to deeper levels, but the positioning here is leaning towards a higher low if we see something bad. Daily scale, divergence on the daily scale and confirmed. So that really makes me want to lean towards bullish things. That makes me want to say, if the 30-minute can curl up here, we can see daily momentum take over. If we see the 2-hour curl down, well, then that's very likely to be a higher low. We have daily divergence beneath us. It's very, very interesting to violate that. It would be very less probable to see the 2-hour make a new low. So hopefully that was overall helpful. I mean, that's a great look. Thank you for bringing it up. Yo, I was trying to see like stuff for the World Cup 2026. The was it World Cup? Was it World Cup? Was it Olympics? I can't remember. I was looking at tickets for something, and I was just like, holy crap, they were insane. Yo, I've never watched that, Martin. Is that good? Like, did you like that? Was it good? I've never watched it. Everyone tells me to watch it, and I'm like, I just always forget, to be totally honest. Thanks for looking at that. Definitely helped. Yeah, sometimes monumental, and maybe you're seeing things similarly, but maybe just like, you know, it's a worrisome time. Yeah, Dubs. Yeah. The tactical theory of football in which any player, apart from the goalkeeper, can take over the role of any other player in the team. That was kind of how I was. I was kind of, you know, for when I was a high schooler, I'd be we called it a floater, Martin. I was called a floater. I would play stopper, and then I would float wherever the play took me. We'd play a diamond back formation, kind of, and I would be that front of the diamond, and so I'd be defensive until my moments to really just go full offense. It was a lot of fun. That was my favorite position because I get to smack people. Man, I miss it. Maybe I'll play in Socktoberfest in Oklahoma or something this year. Play with my dad and his old men. They always invite me to play. All right, keep my eye on things on the right side. Looking over at TLT as well. TLT, just so you know, pretty positive on the 30-minute. 2 hours still at risk of going down to make that divergence point. So if Jerome Powell is going to give us something toasty, I just wanted to show you guys the levels to pay attention to for TLT. See if that type of thing happens. But as of right now, 30-minute looking pretty positive, trying to get back in that monthly move. So very nice. I'm just showing you guys some stuff today. I know it's a crazy time. We don't show off things this much all the time. Oh, will TSM save the market? Bro, will TSM save the market tomorrow? That's a good question. It's not losing key levels. I mean, it has the opportunity to curl down on the 2-hour, and it's a little bit more, worrisome, I would say. It's a little closer, I think, than others, but still positive. So look for higher lows, but you can see if that actually crossed and it got aggressive. Bam. And earnings is overall a 50-50 flip. We'll see. When is Powell? I don't know if I'll be able to stream it. I have to see if I have time, but it means I could pretty much take like a half lunch and then hop back on the stream. So I'll see. My wife's finally feeling better, so it is a possibility for me to come on earlier. Most likely, since it's the afternoon, we'll still be over on Rumble if I start it up at like right when Jerome Powell talks. So I believe the Rumble link is still in the description. What if he gives a rate cut unprecedented? Well, AS, I think it would be more the reasoning behind the rate cut. Reasoning behind the rate cut. The reasoning behind the rate cut will matter, right? Is he blatantly saying, like, we have some big recession fears, and in order to fight those fears and maybe still soft land, we need to cut rates aggressively? No, you do not have to pay for Rumble, Jay say. It is completely free. And if you come in there, make sure you follow. Do not subscribe. I do not know how to turn off the subscribe thing, but that costs $5. It is totally free. All you have to do is make an account on Rumble and hang out with us. And you can have a colored name. You can change the color every day if you want. And that's just to save. Oh, this is reminding me of high school. Oh, that makes sense. Escape the Fate. I got to see Escape the Fate last summer. Too bad they don't. Their new singer is fantastic. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I just want to keep my eye on rates, but rates are at that uncomfortable level. Banks are going to really hate that the rates are going up, and they have a daily divergence. So it's like if something doesn't change now, if the Fed doesn't move soon, it's kind of we could be in a rough spot soon as far as banks go. What's that vote looking like? What are you guys thinking? Darling, what is going on? Did the vote even go? I don't know if the vote... Is there a vote? What the hell? Can someone let me know? Is the vote there? Oh, there's no vote. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. See if I can fix that real quick. Sorry about that. Me. There it goes. Okay, let me try this again. Sorry about that. It's 0 to 0. Nobody's guessing. So is Jerome Powell going to cause a bullish reaction or a bearish reaction? Let's see if that'll go now. All right, do you guys see it now? Sorry about that. We'll stay on live like at least another bit of time here. Okay, there it goes. Sorry about that. There's a little something messed up. Oh shit, I've never heard this song by itself. I always hear it in mixes. I like it. Good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. I like it. Like it. Yeah, it's good, Dubs. I watched The Last of Us. I didn't watch the new season came out, right? SPY. Yes, we are looking at the SPY, and it is hitting a daily expected move and a monthly expected move for serious support right now. If we lose that, hey, we could head down to 500. We could head to 506, 502. It could get ugly. But right now, we're just at a daily expected move and monthly expected move. Let's see. Wow, I might put this song on my playlist. I'm gonna like this song. This song's good. This is my kind of country. I'm sure a lot of country people would call it shit country, but I like it. Yeah, it's not country. I know, but it's mine. I don't like country. I like this. I dig it. TSM trying to catch some ground. GME not breaking down. Do it, GME. Just do it. Freaking do it, dude. We need people in here to get their lives changed. Maybe it never happens. I need to dive on a history. I don't want to listen to Chainsmokers. Past that, I'll listen to Happy Song by Bring Me the Horizon. That sounds better. It's a country rap. It's crap. When my ears like something, I don't care what it is. You know? I dig it. All right, what's another? Someone give me a. I need 3 interesting stocks to look at. My ADHD is kicking. First 3 to type it out. If you, oh god, if someone says Nvidia. LPSN, boom, first one. Netflix, we will look at Netflix. And USAR, okay. LPSN. Ooh, good 30-minute pullback for LPSN. Good floor with the 2-hour rejection divergence, 2-hour positive, so 2-hour, okay, good, awesome. So let's go through this from the 30-minute perspective right now, pulling back, right? Pulling back into that 5, looking like, hey, it's starting to reject, starting to cross that center line. So if the 2-hour crosses here, what do we need to be worried about? Well, you know, this can go down to these levels, but what's its most probable based on the positioning? Well, it'd be probable to see that higher low come in at some point. It would be more probable to just see this thing curl up. Hey, if it wants to make a divergence, great. If that never completes a divergence, could get ugly, right? So let's go out to the daily scale and just go, okay, what do we see here? We don't have the best things in the world. If you see here, we do have that flat divergence. We have no real divergence here on the RSI is what I will say. So you don't have the best daily reversal signals, which means you should always be open to, if I don't see a daily signal that's great in negative territory, just be open to that going to deeper prices to create that. But for the time being, pretty nice for LPSN. Netflix, we do need to take a look at. That's actually on my watch list. Not Wolf. Netflix, we really liked. Why? The daily divergence. If you remember us pointing this out, I think it was last week, just pointing out, maybe it was a week a little further, but overall just showing, hey, that positivity, awesome, awesome stuff to see. We have a good confirmation as of now. It's kind of extended out. Did we have any signals for this to really reverse around? Not necessarily. You probably had to go a little deeper into a 30-minute and just see, oh, okay. Right in here, it was saying it's a good time. Right? This is a big bar that took you back into the 5. Oh, now we pull back, breakthrough, pull back, breakthrough. No divergence here for the 30 minutes. So this just says this can 30-minute pull back and keep going. Not a ton of risk of the 2-hour crossing here, but we'll see. We're running into that area, especially if we get that next 30-minute move and you see a divergence. Watch for the 2-hour to maybe pull back, but this is extremely positive at this moment. So Netflix is in a very good positive trend. Earnings around the corner, so you got to be careful with earnings. What I always like to say is it's a 50-50 flip, and position sizing is very, very important there. Okay? But good daily divergence there for Netflix. Wow. Okay, awesome. This is the 2-hour curl up, right? The 2-hour curl up, the first curl up in positive territory. Notice that once you get into positive territory, boom. Boom on the next curl up. Very, very nice. As far as the daily goes, curled up, pulled back on the 2 hour, curled up again, bam to the upside, taking the 200. You're going to probably run into resistance soon. The 2 hours getting pretty overbought. So this is getting kind of euphoric. And so if this just stops in this area at any time, this would be a great area to pull back, actually. Now, as you have experienced some great positivity, you could be in for, if you reach up higher, right? You can be in for that big retest of the 5, right? Retest of this level, retest of the breakout, leaving behind the gap. So try to mark off that gap. But something like this can happen. So just be aware this is pretty euphoric for the time being. How much percent is that? That's 28% today, or on this 2 hour bar alone. So today, but you've gone up pretty dramatically. So it doesn't have to stop. I'm not suggesting, hey, shorting is a very, very good thing, but that's a 100% move. It's pretty nice. Even if you took that on the edge of this, right? Even if the 2 hour crossed up and you didn't have a ton, it was really, these are the hard decisions to make, right? This is not something I would do, right? If I see a too big of a move and that takes me overbought, I'm not very eager to buy it, right? I'm not very eager to buy it, but I would say on the next pullback, on the next 2 hour pullback, I would be paying attention to it. Very nice. Weekly maybe going to cross up. This thing has been volatile all of a sudden. Holy crap. Ice the birds. Begin. All right. Earnings. Be very cautious around earnings, right? If anyone talks about the implication of how tariffs will affect them, that can be a worrisome thing. SPY to 525 is out of the question today. It's not out of the question. It would take you into that that more 32% area, right? For the day, this would be the 32% area down in here, right? All of this. It's just, it's a little bit closer, right? 525 is not out of the realm of possibility by any means, right? If we take into consideration the second standard deviation, let me just clear up these circles here. Right? All you have to do is measure like that. It's literally that simple. Boom, 520. So within that 95% zone is 525. So as this MACD is curled down, it would say, yeah, it's pointing more towards that. It's just, can we hold as support here at the daily expected move? Yeah, we can take a look over at him. Oh, wait, let me do it on my other screen. I'm sorry I'm having to pull it over. I just don't want the SPY to get lost here. Yeah, him, similar scenario to really everything else. Not necessarily seeing the best things in the world. Did have the 2 hour divergence at the low, right? Very flat if not down on the MACD, so not the best. Daily scale, no real divergences there, but a 2 hour divergence here can cause that daily move. So it's able to cross up the daily chart. I just got to make sure everything's remaining good because this is not the best, right? We can see how this would really want to break down one more time. And then that's where I'd really pay attention, right? But the positioning of your MACD is not necessarily high up enough, right? We got to notice the difference between like, hey, look where that signal line is. It's still negative. So if that crossed, it would go negative right away. Versus it being just a little higher up. Okay, that's a little bit more positivity. That would mean that this is overall going to here. And then you could see that pulling back and then see something curl up. So HIMS is it's a good look. I wouldn't say it's a great look because of the structure at this moment. But you are building a lot. So if that 2 hour doesn't cross down and you actually just see the 30-minute, which, had a flat divergence, but if this thing can just whip back up, bam, that wouldn't be a bad thing. That would actually be a positive move. And that's how you really get through this and head to the next key level. You're hoping for that strong move, probably to 32.40. Down in here, maybe 31.15, something like that. Good move to here, pull back retest, and then see that breakthrough kind of moment. Doesn't look terrible. How many more grenades? Probably a lot, CH. Be ready for confusion, right? Volatility reducing daily moves are consolidation. Yes, you are seeing tighter and tighter, right? We're seeing those daily moves come in, close in, which adds up to what? Now there could be something unexpected. Is it going to be a bullish unexpected or bearish unexpected? Well, you have a lot of earnings. You have Jay Powell today. You got a lot of stuff going on that can cause volatility in either direction. It's just what do the signals tell you right before you get that news? As of right now, we're in a positive trend. We're in an uptrend for the 30-minute. 2 hours attempting to stay in a positive area, which means it's trying to keep that positive trend right now. If that's lost, then it's lost, and you got to potentially react, right? That's the moments we react. I'm not feeling this song. Fireflies by Owl City popped up. What? Not bad. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's throw it back. Let's throw it back. Ohio is for lovers, you know? Come on. Throw this to emo land. What could be expected? Well, the only thing that we can know what's expected is, hey, this is what is priced in for the day with Jerome Powell. If he has a surprise for you, then you can see these violated. So what's expected doesn't seem like a lot. It seems like nothing as much as last time, right? We were down here and the daily expected moves were literally like this. Now what are they? Well, now the daily expected moves look more like kind of regular for a volatile market, right? So they're not expecting a lot, is what you would say. So people are expecting them to wait, right? They always wait for data, wait for data, wait for data. What if they're not waiting and they're doing something different? What if they say rate cut? What if they say no rate cut? How would the market really react? It's because you killed me. CPC came out rather neutral. Jerome Powell's just hard to read all the time because he's so like dependent on data, but he doesn't even react to data, right? He needs to see like apparently like a year and a half's worth of data to do something, right? So we'll see. These tariffs could force his hand in some way. I can guarantee you that he does not like this. I can guarantee you he's not liking the fact that this could scale up again. Overall, like the yield's in a 4-hour pullback, so this means a 4-hour swing to the upside is possible. Do you think the market will celebrate that if we see these yields go up? Do you think Jerome Powell wants those yields to go up? The bond market's in serious trouble. So we'll see if he's going to react. But I think the market knows, like, he doesn't really react. He always says he's going to react and then nothing. Yeah, Lucas is Greg, who is Roaring Kitty, who is Lucas. I figured life out. Oh, I am not Greg. Nvidia to 100 is very possible, yes. Actually, let me go check again. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think 100 would be in the realm of possibility. That'd be your breakout area. I'm down. Greg's birthday isn't even the same as mine, guys, okay? It's not even close. I'm a Leo. Come on, grass that black my eyes. Oh, high school, Luke. Little quiet high school, Lucas. And my daughter is the total opposite of me. She is my wife to a T, personality-wise. So sorry, Lucas. Come on, Jay, do your tinfoil hat research better. Netflix looks like it wants to get to that 1,000. It really does. If it can hold strong. Does Netflix have earnings, though? Netflix has to, right? When's earnings for Netflix? Oh, literally tomorrow night, huh? Ooh. Well, Netflix, we'll see. Next week, I see Thursday, April 17th, but after the close, so you won't see the reaction, what, till Monday? You won't really see the reaction till Monday. So Netflix could have a bad earnings and like 70 countries could make a deal and then it goes up. Hut? Yeah, we can look at Hut real quick. Looking over on my other screen. Okay, this 30 minutes getting a little deep there. All right, so how this flips back to like the bull side, right, for Hut, it's just the 2 hours able to cross up. Is the 30 minutes suggesting that right now? No. No, it is not, right? So one thing that you can be aware of is, okay, you know, something like this, maybe you take like, exclude that big move down, exclude some of this stuff, and you go, oh, okay, that lines up a little bit better, right? Whatever makes you sleep at night. And you would say if that 30-minute crosses up and then crosses back down, that would be a troublesome thing, right? That wouldn't be something you want to see because you're overall getting maybe slanted business going on. Not necessarily the best. You also had potential for even almost like a double top. So a little rough there, but it did cause the 2 hour to pull back. And as of right now, this was slightly positive, so there is risk to go down to these areas because it's not in a comfortable spot. It's right at that center line. Notice this. When it crosses, the MACD is immediately negative. That's when you're like, all right, that's not the best. So this is possible. But if the 2 hour, for whatever reason, just crosses up, takes back all this stuff going on in here, it looks like you're going to make an attempt to take out this and go up higher, right? You still have a gap right up in here. And the area you really want to react to is $14. Could be a fantastic move. You're going to need the 2 hour to confirm up, though. I'll look at the daily scale real quick. Hold on. Daily rejection divergence down at the low. A lot of daily divergence. So investing-wise, doesn't look too scary. Might not look the best right now, but oh, it would definitely be something if Nvidia goes to 75 CH. We'll look at things a lot differently if it goes down to 75. Check out HYMC. Oh my goodness. Why is that thing going insane on the daily scale? Well, because buyers decided to buy it, right? I don't like the divergences it's creating, man. I really don't like these divergences. Now it's creating them, right? This can just blow through this. What you're probably looking at here is like 2 hour pullback would be nice. Make that right shoulder that could have been kind of deal. Or at least to get that pullback in this area, right? You can call it whatever you want. I'll just call it consolidation, retest the 5. Then again, that would be much better, I think, to reload right now after a strong move. But the daily scale is curled up. That's a good thing. The thing that you're worried about is if that curls down. If that curls back down, then you're probably taking out these levels and revisiting down here. So big problem there if that happens. Very nice to not do something like this. So it's more positive than it could have been. And the 2 hour is extremely positive. So 2 hour pullback seems probable. Yeah, 2 hour pullback. Yeah, it might be good for AMC, but not good for the price right now. AMC's turned down on a 2 hour. We'll get that confirmation in about 28 minutes. Yeah, we looked at USAR. Let me get the main point for USAR. USAR, I don't like to FOMO into things, so something I would really like here is just a 30-minute deeper pullback, and you are seeing some things from the 30-minute. Like if this crossed down right now, if it's starting to see resistance right now, that would say that a 2 hour pullback is likely. What I like to do is just look at this, say instead of FOMOing, right, it curled up on the 2 hour. There's your trade. There's your 50% trade right there, right? Even if you waited for full confirmation, 50%. Awesome. But you're coming up into these areas with potential 30-minute divergence, which means, hey, what about this thing, right? Maybe this is going to need to curl down and then pop its head back up and retest that 5 coming up, right? But there's a very positive 2-hour move. Do I think the opportunity is here, or do I think the better decision is see what happens, and if it pulls back and gives me a better opportunity, I can make that decision later on. That's all I'm thinking about. But, it could scream higher, scream higher, scream higher, but if I didn't get in on this, then I'm not necessarily trying to chase. I don't like chasing. It's not bad, though. It's really not. It's seen some extreme volatility lately. Daily scale went positive on that today, though. What's the deal with Chair Powell's speech today? No idea. I have no idea what he's going to say. The market's not pricing in an extreme amount of volatility for it. I mean, they are bigger moves for usual, but for what we've experienced the last few weeks, that's not a lot. Yeah, I would say the unexpected thing is if he reacts in some way. The more expected thing is he's not going to really react. Yeah, laws. That's the perfect statement. That literally is the perfect statement. They are going to talk about the data that they are waiting for. That's a perfect analysis of Jerome Powell right there. But it's just, do we see a shift? Because I guarantee you that none of these people like the fact that cutting rates, and if Trump is hinting, this is something interesting. Trump was apparently hinting that he was going to take applications for the new chair position for the Fed, aka maybe getting rid of Jerome Powell. And so if Jerome Powell wants to be on Trump's good side, he might do what he says and cut the rates. That'd be crazy. That's how I see it, Willow. That's what I'm expecting, but I'm aware of the unexpected. The unexpected would be he reacts in some way. Him doing what he says should technically be expected. People can sell the market, sell things because of that, right? We were hoping that he said this, but he just didn't, right? But I don't think that that's necessarily, you just don't have extreme volatility priced in. Not as extreme as the last couple of weeks, right? What I'm talking about is you don't have volatility like this priced in, like this priced in for the day, like this priced in for the day, like this priced in for the day. Yesterday you had bigger ranges. Today you have Jerome Powell and you have smaller ranges. Not dramatically smaller, but still smaller. So IV is coming in, options are getting burnt up, unless you caught the Nvidia play really, which Nvidia had reversal signals. It just could have broken through to the upside, right? But the MACD was curled down, suggesting, hey, downside seems a 2-hour pullback seems probable. That's why I was like, I would celebrate a 2-hour pullback right now. I would love it. And I think, I think $100 is a good place to pay attention, even gap fill. So weekly expected moves, I'd be watching those like a hawk. VIX overall right now, 30-minute, I believe, is positive. This is where I actually want to watch out, is if the 30-minute curls up again to take back the 5. You would have liked that to react up higher towards like 35 and then pull back. 2-hour, yeah, not really showing the best things here for volatility, meaning maybe this is overblown. We'll see. I think a lot will wait until Jerome Powell, and I think a lot will wait until the Power Hour stream. So if you want to join on Rumble later, join us, man. It's fun. Tariff or transitory? Well, they kind of coincide, Rajiv. Once there's actually solution, you'll be able to understand more how transitory it would be. It's more as if they keep fluctuating, then the inflation predictions can change. But if they're solidified, that's different. That's more transitory. If only I knew when to short, I'd be a millionaire. Well, bears here, bulls all in here. for the time being. If only we could read minds, right, Suri? Welcome to Is It Transitory? I mean, that's the most probable thing, right, Richard? Everyone paying attention to that 420 and it's baiting, and then, uh-oh, what if an oopsie happens? What if an oopsie doesn't happen? Market shaking news right now. Trump is not solidifying any deals. He is taking off the 10% pause and he is implementing all of the tariffs again right now. Would be terrible. That would cause a big reaction. How many mils? How many millions do you need? It's time to say something crazy. 580 by the end of the day. Let's see. How many millions do you think you need? Probably like to retire? It depends on how you live. I like to live below my means. I've never lived extravagantly. I just never have. I've always saved. I've always saved money. I've always moved my money when I see risk and things like that. So I've always been like that, especially since I lost my business in 2020. I've behaved even more different than back then. So I would say, depending on how you live, yeah, man, what, like 0.7, 0.6? If you want to go the cheap route, like, do you need a cell phone if you're retiring? Like, do you have a wife? Do you guys is she your best friend? Do you guys hang out with people? Do you want to go travel? You know, there's a lot of things that come with it. Are you willing to invest that money and live off of dividends? You know, there's too many options, but I'd say that'd be pretty comfortable. But I ain't trying to retire like that. You know, that would cut my time frame even shorter. I want to get to that mill just to say I got to a mill. Yeah, that was being generous, right, Suri? It's just kind of where's oh, there we go. Mr. Missile came in today. VIX is saying something. Yes, it is saying something. It is turning back down. Volatility is not increasing. We'll see if that remains when Jerome Powell actually shows his face. Well, weirdly enough, what is it? The most likely time to die, the highest percentage year to die is the year after you retire. It's the first year of your life and the year after you retire. Those are the two most probable years to die. The important thing is having a purpose, having a drive. See, I'm a fun facts guy. I like studying psychology. That's something we learned. We learned about elderly age too, not just babies. Jerome trying to save his job. I think that's potential. Work to live or live to work. That's the equation you have to figure out. The millions don't matter. It's, you know, how can you work and how do you like to live? Did you know the percentage of that retirement death rate goes way down if you have a family that you started? Did you know that? My daughter has a master's in psychology. Oh, I would love to just chat with her because I don't know crap compared to her AS. Shane, quick look at Target. All right, let me go look at Target real quick, Shane. Okay, I'm staring at volatility over here. Missile Man's got me freaking out now. Target, the 30 minutes still within range of going positive, still in that area where you got to pay attention to potential drops afterwards, right? But so, ooh, almost like a diamond. Kind of like a diamond. A little bit, a little bit. If we just kind of like, it's very sloppy, but very sloppy, very, very sloppy. I get it. But you're kind of in this box where you're building, 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 which means what? Well, you had small moves go to big moves, go back to small moves. So what's going to happen next? Probably a decision. There will probably be a decision made here soon. So if the 2-hour curls down, that is overall telling you, oh, the decision is down, right? So we can take out this low, go make a new one. The daily scale is starting to turn up on not the best bar. So I'm not going to take that into consideration necessarily. But if the daily scale could just do this, bam, curl up, break through that, well, let's look at the MACD up close. Divergence. Let's look at the RSI up close. Divergence. Awesome. So if I can get a good confirmation from the daily scale, that would be a great trigger. So if the daily scale can confirm above the 5-day and the 9-day, it would say you're in a high probability to see an upside move. How high is that? Well, I'd make a weekly expected move and see if it lands somewhere at 108 if you see some upside. Then you can maybe get up to that area, and that's where you'd maybe want to fool around next before you see the next breakout. That's also where failure can take place. Very, very cool look, though. Family. It's a diamond. If that's a diamond, I need a refund. Nvidia killing it, 32 cents. You're getting really close to that weekly move. Now it's a shortened trading week. You can see crazy stuff, and that's curled down. Yeah, Shane, I appreciate you bringing it up. That was a fun one. I am not ever going to hate on Target. I think Target's at a good price. I think Target has a good longevity. I think it's good. So investing-wise, hey, big fan of those, right? I always say, like, I pay attention to Kroger. Hey, I look for other things too. It's not the sexiest trade in the world, but hey, Target acquired. Nvidia going to 200. Let's see. Let's look at a weekly scale and just see if that turned up, what would happen. Well, you'd go positive almost immediately. Which means you'd probably see another uptrend move. Which means if we draw out a potential for a extended target here, you would be looking for 194. 194. If that extended completely and did the big move, 194. If you're going to get failure, then you're paying attention to potentially 131. I think 131 is what I'd watch. 175, 190. Hood dropped. I'll go check hood on the other screen. Blow off top. Ooh. Ooh, hood. See, hood's showing that 2-hour retrace almost. It skipped the consolidation and it made, well, yeah, see, this is the weakness and momentum is happening. Right? Weakness and momentum. We see that from the MACD, bam. We see that from the RSI, bam. And we just go, okay, if this confirms down, that's not a good thing. Well, guess what? It confirmed down. You got that 15-minute lip up, right? You got that to confirm. You got the 15-minute that said manage risk, and if that 15-minute curls back down, hey, this could continue to the downside. What happened? The 15-minute curled back down right in here, and then flag, bam. 2 hours now confirming down. So the 30-minute divergence got this right. The most probable thing was a 2-hour pullback, and now you're experiencing a 2-hour pullback. Right? I don't have levels exactly for hood. So, you know, if I don't have levels for something, I'm doing anything I can to find it. All right, right in here, 37, 37.50, which means potentially paying attention to there. and here. If we see worse than that, hey, look out for divergences, but a higher low would be probable here based on the positioning here of the MACD. You notice as that is crossing, we're not negative yet. But those are some levels I'd be paying attention to. The wick down in here, and then the breakout area probably towards 35. Baby. Time to short the Louis Vuitton. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all these things, they'll actually have to make quality product again. The luxury good product has gotten significantly worse since they started to outsource to China. Most of the luxury goods outsource to China, and then they have one strap that they put on in France or wherever, Italy, and then they say it's made in Italy. It actually is mostly made in China. A lot of luxury goods. And the quality of luxury goods has gone down exponentially in the last 15 years. A $10,000 purse only lasts like a year sometimes, and that's not how it used to be. So, yeah, some tickers though, short Fridays. I'm down. Oh, no Friday this time, man. Are you bummed? No Friday to short this week. What's third? Do you have to change your name to Short Thursdays for a day? If the sticker is made in Italy, but the purse is made in China. Oh, the sticker was made in Italy. Off to Paris for 4 days? Yo, hell yeah. Have fun, man. That's awesome, Laws. This week I'm in calls. Oh, okay, you're getting into that Caterpillar. Yeah, Caterpillar's in the same situation, but Caterpillar, if you look at this, see how it's more towards the negative side. So this has more risk of seeing that new low, as that trend would just say, hey, I'm continuing. Still very good, right? Reacting up to just before this, you'd like to get a little higher. So 30-minute here could just be in a pullback though, right? If that curls up, where is it? Positive, right? This is how that 2 hours just stops and goes bam, and then you watch out for traps, right? A trap would be, uh-oh. But for now, you look at the 2 hour scale and that's not crossed. So if the 30-minute goes up, it's kind of hard for the 2 hour to cross down, right? It just makes sense. Daily's pretty down there, so you got to be aware that you could make a daily divergence. What you're hoping for if you don't want to see something like, oh, boom. If you don't want to see that, then you need to see a solid move up to, I would even just say 350. See if you can pull back. Then you curl up into positive territory again. Boom, massive, massive look there. So could be a good moment. Where are we at as far as support goes? Highs from 2023. Highs from 2023. Breakout for 2024. So you're testing the breakout area right in here, these highs. Nice. Not a bad look. There are problems that can happen and things that you would need to react to, but that's every stock, you know? Not a terrible look, just very deep on the daily, so be aware that it could be needing more complexity there. What if I fell to the floor? Didn't tell this anymore. Nvidia has to touch 75 before taking the Starliner to 300. 75 though? 75? Maybe if it goes into next month, but 75 would just be. Let me look at the daily scale. Because right now you're retesting the breakouts again. The last time you retested the breakouts, good things happened. You're in there again. You went a little deeper. 75 would be that low point. I don't think you want to go to 75. I think that would be like dead cat bounce, and after that, we'll see. No divergence, so it's possible to head to lower levels if the daily crosses down, but man, 75 would be pretty deep. In fact, that might be at your 95, that might be below your 95% line, so GLD 4 hour. Let's go look. Yeah, it's just not on the MACD at the same time, but you see that during FOMO moments a lot. It can go higher. I was trying to decide today, kind of, do I want to risk to reward this in some way? I'm going to look at futures. That sometimes can clear it up for gold. Oh. Oh. Try to be some... Oh. Ah, damn, it's not on the RSI. It's extended across. Ugh, wonky look. Yeah. Man, if gold... Wow. Where's its second standard deviation? Do I have a second? I think I do. GLD 9. Wow, we are getting there too. We're almost to the second standard deviation for the monthly on GLD. Wow. Pretty solid. Yeah, the reverse signals just aren't popping up, but this would be kind of risk to reward then. Let me look at the pricing. Just hard to bet against gold right now. It's just very difficult, I think. $30 days. 8 versus 7. Looking at 300. I don't think betting against gold is like the easiest thing right now, so I don't think the pricing of the put options is like horrible. Maybe a call to them. Yeah, your judgment. Does what they say. Well, yeah. So were you saying the 75 thing? Who was saying the 75 for? Percentage chance that Roaring Kitty tweets 420 or tweets in that, before 420 or maybe right after. I would say maybe in the next week. Let's say give it a week. I don't know. That's kind of just off the top of my head. It's just my thinking, right? It's not a hard percentage. I'd say over 50%. I'd probably say 75%. Probably 69 is probably right, Huckleberry. I think silent makes a lot of sense, right? So if everyone expects it, then we would say probably not. Ooh, that does make sense, right, Jim? G'day, mate. What up, 1329? How's it going? 4, 2, 9, 1, 15, 15. Good. I'm glad you're having a good one. I would say 100%. Yeah, you're like, I would say 100%, but I have a serious bias. Yeah, if we're taking into consideration contrarian, then you would say it's a very high likelihood not to do it, right? Not X, because everyone expects it. I think if anything might happen like tomorrow or after 420, like right after. Just not exactly on 420 would be logical. Teamwork makes the dream work. I'll buy some for you. Why would it pump? Because I'm holding it? Duh. 420 is a Sunday. Yep. And big moves happen for GME on Mondays, and everyone's reading into it. And I'm just like, hey, you got divergence, and a 2-hour pullback's the most probable thing right now. That's all I care about, right? I like reading the 10 for entertainment purposes. If he tweets, I think it's fun for entertainment purposes. But as far as it goes, I'm not going to be loco about it. I got money to actually make. Why didn't they roll out well, nobody was, product was already stopping back then. Right? They already had a supply issue then, supply chain issues, so COVID already pretty much was a tariff. It's like there just wouldn't, actually, weirdly enough, if nothing's being imported and exported, really, then the tariffs don't have too much of an effect. At 1:09 p.m. he will post. He figured it out, remember? Oh, yes, Richard, that's right. That's right. If he's right, then I'll be like, that's awesome. I'll think it's hilarious. Okay. I'm kind of thinking, do I want to do something here or not? It was nice to meet them. The man with the crystal ball, baby. It's almost earnings season. We need to get the coin flipper out. Who's got earnings tomorrow? Who's got earnings tomorrow? We got to flip a coin on real quick. Was it Netflix? All right, Netflix earnings. Heads is bullish. Oh, it's bullish. 100%. The internet coin flip always gets it right. Netflix earnings with no Friday session. They're like, please don't sell our stock. He has risen, okay? Full port Netflix got it. All right, guys, we're hitting that 10:30 time, so I will be hopping off here right now. Looks like we're still in that daily expected move. Not too much buying that's really exciting just yet. Not too much selling that's really dramatic, except for when you look at the semiconductors, right? When you look at semiconductors, very interesting. We'll keep finding out as we get more price action, but right now we should treat it for what it is, and that says 30-minute pullback. If the SPY gets more aggressive on, say, the 2-hour chart, okay, then we might experience a 2-hour retrace somewhat, and we have some areas to pay attention to at 506, 502, and we know the level of 500 being important with the options for Friday, so we'll be watching. But for the time being, hey, if that 30-minute can just curl up, maybe this thing goes the other way, right? This is kind of a scenario where you got to be really reactive. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you guys for asking questions, doing all that stuff. Really appreciate it. Overall, if we want to continue this, then I'm going to try to go live for the Jerome Powell speech in a couple hours if I can swing it. I'm pretty sure I can, but just look for those notifications from Rumble. We will be over there later this afternoon, possibly watching Jerome Powell, all right? Have a great day. 1329, I know you just got in here, but have a great day, and maybe we'll see you on Rumble later, okay? Peace out, guys. Have a good one, and make sure to pay attention to your risk, right? Always paying attention to the risk. Peace out. And the coin flipped heads for Netflix.